Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another episode of my FM21 save with Ajax. We are here for the first leg of the first knockout round of the Champions League, and we are playing, as you can see, Manchester United. So we've got a very tough draw, and if my memory serves me correctly, we have actually played them before in the Champions League. But I would have to check that out when we look at the past results, of course. So let's actually take a look at that. I have to find that though. Here, previous meetings. Can we actually check out what happened? No, we cannot. But the previous meetings, we've lost to them 3 times. So probably 1 friendly and then 2 legs in the Champions League. I don't know if we can easily see when that was. Here it was Juventus. Was it here maybe? No, it was PSG. Maybe the year before. There it was. So we lost 4-1 in the Champions League. Oh, it was in the group stage. Alright, and we lost 6-5, of course. There was that insane game in the second season that we lost 6-5 to them. So maybe we have a chance now. Let's see where they are in the league. They are in second right now. They are 1 point behind Chelsea. Alright. And last season they finished in 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Alright, so they have been finishing around 4th or 3rd the last couple of seasons. They are in second now, as you can see right there. So it's going to be a very tough opposition. Of course, we have a couple of players unavailable. They do not have any players unavailable, so that is bad news for us. But first, of course, let's check the results that you guys missed. So, here we go. Where was the last time we met? I actually have already forgotten. Wait, this is not this season. Let's get back to the right one. Alright. So the last one, I think it was Panathinaikos. Yeah, it was. And then we played Utrecht. We beat them 6-2. An amazing match. Was that actually it? Was that actually the last match? I don't quite remember. No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was. Let me actually check this for 1 second and then get back to you guys. Alright, so it actually was. It was the last episode, the game against Panathinaikos. So we beat Utrecht 6-2. We beat Excelsior in the Cup 3-0. We then beat Groningen 1-0. Almere City 3-0. Another cup game, we beat Kozaka Boys 5-0, who are a couple of divisions down. Vitesse 3-2, PSV 3-1, another 3-1 against NAC, 3-2 again against Heerenveen, 6-1 in the cup against Twente, and an 8-0 thrashing of VVV in the league. Which brings us here against Man United in the Champions League. We have been drawn against Vitesse in the semi-final of the Dutch Cup, which who we just beat 3-2 a couple of weeks ago, so they should be beatable again. And we have played them earlier on in the season. We beat them 5-1. We are playing them away from home, so it's gonna be tough nonetheless, but I'm hoping that we can still pick up the win. But first, right now, the focus of course is on Man United right here. So let's get straight into the lineup. So Onana is a little bit injured, but he is going to start for us, and this is going to be the starting 11. Onana, he should come to full training tomorrow, as you can see. Range, Bermudez, Markovic, Ruggieri, Thiago, Regeer, Anthony, Eriksen, Unuvar, and Boshi. So still a couple of players who are concerned about their playing time, but a game against Manchester United is not a game that I want to rotate. So let's just get straight into it, and then let's take a look at the couple of things that I want to talk to you about. As you can see, last match again, we made 7 changes and we still beat VVV 8-0. So I finally have the feeling that we're at a point where we are supposed to be, that we can beat the teams in the league quite easily, even with a rotated side. So let's just get straight into the game against Man United. It's gonna be tough, but I have faith in the boys to at least not get thrashed in this game, because we are playing away. They've actually bought Jadon Sancho, so they've got a very good team. They aren't in the best of forms though, so maybe we have a chance in that aspect. But we'll see when this game continues. There is already a highlight for Manchester United. Let's hope we don't concede immediately. We don't. Wrench clears it. All right. So a positive start for them, not so much for us. So the game against Excelsior was again a very dominant game by us. Of course, they are playing a division lower than us, unless they got promoted, but I don't think they did. So they are playing one division lower than us, but we had 27 shots, from which 14 on target, and we kept Excelsior to 0 shots. So of course then we got drawn to Kozaka Boys, which should have been an easy match, and it was. QN, the Chinese midfielder, was again named the Asian Young Player of the Year. And Lassina Traoré was named in the African Team of the Year, and he was named African Striker of the Year. So another award for those two players. No award for Onana, weirdly enough. He wasn't in the Team of the Year for Africa, and he wasn't the Goalkeeper of the Year either, obviously. And other than that, no award for Mazraoui either. So only Traoré this season, and then of course QN for the Asian Team of the Year. So, oh well, not the Team of the Year, but the Young Player of the Year, of course. So, we have sold a lot of deadwood, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot. And I'll show you those players after this match. It's pretty much all players that either their contracts were running out at the end of this year, and or they were just not good enough and not gonna be good enough for the first team ever, as it is still 0-0 at halftime, which I would be happy with. At this point, because then we could take it to our home and try to finish it. But yeah, sold off a lot of players, as you will see after this match. Speaking about this match, it is a pretty boring match. Only 2 shots on target in total, and it's just not a lot of highlights either. So hopefully the second match of the episode will be a little bit more exciting, and this match we can either keep them to 0-0 or at worst only concede 1 or 2 goals, but hopefully we can at least get a draw here. I mean, they're not looking very dangerous at all, but I'm actually scared to make a couple of subs, but I am gonna do that. I'm gonna get Eriksen off for Kudus, and let's get Unuvar off. He's tired. Let's get Neres on, and Anthony is tired too, so let's get Dolberg on for him. For the final 10 minutes, it's still 0-0, and again, they are having more and more shots. They are dominating the match completely, and they have a highlight here. 2 minutes to go. Please don't concede this late. That would hurt so much. Di Lorenzo on the right side, and Martial puts it in, and it is 1-0. And according to the commentary, it was David Neres' fault. Apparently, he missed an interception, but there is the final whistle. We lose out, but it is only 1-0. So it's actually not that bad. Only a 1-0 loss is something that we can hopefully overcome that in the home leg in a couple of weeks' time. But first, let's get to the game against, I already forgot it. Who are we playing next? ADO Den Haag. So I'll see you guys in just a second. And here we are for the game against ADO. Before we get to the starting 11, as I just mentioned, we're going to take a look at the transfers that we have done. So let's look at the history. As you can see, a lot of players went out, but we are looking from January only. So let's take a look, having to scroll down a long way. So I'm not even sure if it all fits in one part of the screen. It actually doesn't, but you can see all of the players right here. The most expensive still was Yepiquier to Nice in France. Again, he just wasn't going to be good enough, and we got a lot of money for him. So I'm really happy with that. You can take a look if you'd like. You can pause the video to take a look at everybody who we have sold. If there's one player here that stands out to you and you want me to take a closer look at, please do let me know in the comments, and I will go back to him in one of the following episodes to still show you guys that player. But yeah, these are all the players that we have sold over the course of January. Of course, I said before January that we were majorly in debt, and I wanted to prevent the board from accepting any offers of players that we didn't want to sell. and we actually managed that. We could reject every offer, but as you can see, we are still majorly in debt. We do have a lot of transfer budget though. I don't know how. I still don't know how that works. I've been playing these games for 7 years. Still don't know how our transfer budget is. In this case, 8 million when we are 31.5 million in debt. As you can see, we have been losing a lot of money over the course of over this season. Last season, eventually, we did make a profit of 24. But yeah, there are still so many transfer clauses that we still have to pay, which is pretty much the biggest reason why we're still losing money every month. It looks like that's calming down a little bit as we have made a profit of 3.5 million this month, but of course, 8 million is from players sold, so we would still be 4.5 million loss of in February. No, yeah. So I'm gonna still try to do the transfers in the same way. So sell off Deadwood and hopefully get in young players on the cheap, and hopefully they can grow into something. And if not, we can sell them on for a profit, which we have been doing until now. So let's take a look at the starting lineup. It is Onana, Markovic, Alderweireld, Luperto, Gvardiol, Alvarez, Van de Beek, Kluivert, Eriksen, Univar, and Traoré. Again, a rotated side, as I said, that we have been doing a lot in the league. We still have 2 players concerned about their playing time that don't fit into the squad right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 10 players concerned about their playing time. At one point, I think it was even 14, which is pretty much everybody outside of the first 11. So we have been getting that number down by a little bit, but we're not all the way there yet where we want to be. Of course, we want nobody to be concerned about their playing time, but you're always gonna have 1 or 2 players that do have concerns. But 9 or 10, like in this case, is a lot, and I do really want to get that number down to at most 5 or something like that. So we have a little way to go, and we're already in February. Only after this match, only 9 more to go. And you know what? First, let's talk about the last thing that I wanted to mention this episode, and that is the youth intake preview. So normally it would be an exciting time, but again, this time it wasn't exciting at all, and I'm not really looking forward to the youth intake either. And we cannot poach any youth players from other clubs either, because we don't have any money, because I don't want to go even more in debt, as Traoré opens the score after 15 minutes played. So there were only 2 positive points in the youth intake, and that was about the wingers and the goalkeeper. So apparently there's going to be 1 okay winger and 1 okay goalkeeper in there. But then the negative points, and let me tell you, there are a lot. So pretty much every point said there's not going to be a good player in this position. So the positions that it mentioned were defensive mids, wing backs, full backs, center mid, white midfielder, attacking midfielder, wingers, which I don't get because there was going to be 1 good winger, but they're kind of canceling each other out, so not really sure what's going to happen there, and striker. And then at the very bottom, it said, don't expect too much from this youth intake. It looks to be a pretty poor crop of players. So that is the reason why I'm not really looking forward to the youth intake. I mean, of course, I'm looking forward to it because it's always exciting, but I just don't think there are going to be any good players in there. So I guess we'll see. I think that's going to be next episode. But I guess we'll see how the youth intake will go. If there's only 1 player with at least 4-star potential, I am happy, because a 4-star potential in this team is pretty much a world-class player. Look, by the way, how defensively ADO Den Haag are set up, understandably so, against our team. It looks like we're gonna get a penalty here from the Beek, taken down after that free kick. I think that's gonna be a penalty. Don't think the VAR is gonna deny that. And there it is, we do get the penalty, and Eriksen is gonna take it. Can he score his goal for this match after 54 minutes? He can. Eriksen puts away the penalty. That is his 6th goal of the season already. For a player that has not been playing that much, I think that's a pretty good goal tally. And as you can see, with in Feyenoord's case 10 games to go, we are 8 points ahead of them. So what was that goal? Justin Kluivert makes it 3-0. A weird goal. but happy for Kluivert that he gets his goal. But yeah, 8 points ahead of Feyenoord. And of course, they can still get 30 more points. So we are far from being safe. But we do have a pretty comforting gap. And as you can see, if you get 30 points off of our score, you get to 35. So the lowest we can still finish is 8th if we win this match. So that is already pretty good with 10 games to go. To not be able to finish lower than 8th is something that I'm pretty happy with. I mean, that statistic is always something that I look at every single season because I love stuff like that. I love looking at that table and just calculating what position is the lowest we can still finish. Of course, at the end of the season, I'm hoping we will finish first, and I think we will this season. Looking at the goal difference as well, we have a goal difference of 60 and Feyenoord only have 32. So that just speaks a volume about how good our attack is. And just like that, that was actually a beautifully set up attack finished by Kasper Dolberg, 4-0. But what a beautiful attack that was. And we get another highlight here. Maybe Alderweireld can get a goal, but he probably won't. And Otto can actually get a counter attack going here. Will they get anything from it? Oh, what a good defensive... What? How is that a foul? I was going to say, what a good defensive action by Van de Beek, but apparently it's going to be a penalty. So that's the golden chance for ADO Den Haag to get a consolation goal, and they do. That is very disappointing to not get the clean sheet again. Jamiliano Pinas, ex-Ajax, getting the goal. 4-1, still a good win, but still disappointed to concede that late in the game through a penalty that wasn't even a penalty in my opinion. But there you go, final whistle has been blown. We've picked up another 3 points, which is the most important thing. And as I said, we are 8 points ahead of Feyenoord with 10 games to go, in our case 9 games to go. So they could close the gap to 5 points, which is still a good enough gap. We're playing AZ next. We're also playing Feyenoord still some couple of weeks in the future. But that was actually it for this episode. Let me check where we're gonna be back for next episode. I mean, I think I already know, but I'm still gonna check the schedule just to be sure. And I think you guys also already know what match we're gonna be back for. Why is this taking so long? Just let me get... Thank you for... No, I didn't want to continue. Thank you. Let's get to the schedule. There we go. So, of course, the next episode is gonna be Man United, and let's not play Feyenoord because there's only 2 games in between. Let's do Man United and FC Twente. FC Twente are in 11th, so that should be a good game. It does annoy me that there are only 4 days between a big game like the one against Feyenoord, who are in 2nd, and the game against Man United. So probably means that we're gonna have to be rotating just a little bit against Feyenoord. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have to see about that when I get there. So that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe as well if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.